A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler
Hello
cherishes their
guys,
gems.
so hari ni kita akan layan story-story je lah. Story karakter dan story akun lah kalau sempat. So enjoy lah apa-apa, korang boleh komen lah. Dan jangan lupa like dan follow ya. Terima kasih semua. Okay, so kita pergi Fontaine. Kita layan story New Village. Sekejap guys.
Wait, did I hear that right? Monsieur Neurvalet, are you sure you'd like to take over the case yourself?
That's right.
No, but why? Technically speaking, cases like this are better left to the guards.
Neverlet! Sadine! Hey there! What are you two talking about?
Traveler in Paimon, please help me talk our Chief Justice out of this. He wants to investigate a case on his own. Now, this is completely unprecedented. How can we have the Udex acting like a private detective? Hmm?
Thank you for your concern, but I currently have no such plans. Oh, apologies. I took your question in earnest, but it now occurs to me that it was most likely in jest.
So, what is it exactly? It sure sounds serious if it's something you've got to investigate personally.
A Melusine named Kiara received a threat letter.
And then?
That is all the information I have acquired at this stage.
I have no idea why you're so hung up over this. I've checked the schedule in advance, and it seems like there aren't any trials today. So, if you insist, I have no objections.
Thank you for understanding. I will leave a note explaining my absence on my desk. I would appreciate it if you could take it to Lady Farina. She may have no interest in official affairs, but standard procedure dictates that I'm still responsible for reporting to her.
Yes, understood. I'll come back later and deliver the note to her.
Judging from Sadine's reaction, it must be pretty rare for you to investigate stuff.
I cannot tell you just yet, but there could be complicated conflicts of interest behind all this.
Come on, stop being so secretive!
It is not my intention to keep you in the dark, but I need some time to read. Long story short, a little more than 400 years ago, I became the Udex of Fontaine and initiated a series of institutional reform. There were few people I could trust, but I had two subordinates who were exceptionally trustworthy and capable. Carol, a Melusine, and Vautrin, leader of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
They must have been amazing people to
Indeed. Unfortunately, the reforms damaged the interests of some, and the more conservative faction took advantage of Carol's identity to instigate political unrest. The incident resulted in Carol taking her own life, and Vautrin being exiled. From then on, I've been especially careful when dealing with cases related to Melusine. All Melusines used to live a secluded life away from human society. I granted their wishes when some of them, including Carol, asked me to bring them to the court of... Many common folk believe that I share a special bond with the Melusines, and whatever they do can be traced back to... Some of them, especially those who hold a grudge against me, exploit that belief and stir up conflict over Melusines in an attempt to lay the... I have nothing against the opinions of others. It has already happened once, and I want to make sure it does not happen again.
Even so, why do you have to be the one to invest? There's the guards, the Maréchaussée Phantom, and the Special Security and Surveillance...
Based on prior experience, there is a high chance that those who hold hostility to the political system of Fontaine is relatively complex. However, since I am technically an outsider in Fontaine...
Outsider? But aren't you the Chief Justice of Fontaine?
I understand where you are coming from, But there is not necessarily a connection between... You know very well about my true identity, and have even met others of my kind in other nations. Even though I was born with a human form, there is a fundamental difference. Taking on the role of Chief Justice does not make me a part of this community. In fact, I have lived in Fontaine for a long time, but I do not belong here.
Yeah, we have nothing to do with all those organizations anyway. So how about we come with you on your investigation? Let's team up and round up all the bad guys lurking in the dark.
That does not sound like a bad idea. I rarely investigate cases on my own, but with professionals like you around.
Oh, Paimon's starting to get...
I will write my note of absence right away. Let us depart together once I'm done. Let us go. We should visit Kiara first and try to gain a better understanding of the situation.
So Neuvillette feels like he doesn't truly belong here in Fontaine, but is that really true? Paimon feels like he has a kinda skewed perspective on a lot of things. Anyway, let's catch up with him first. Paimon's been thinking. You called yourself a fish out of water, right? But since you're the Hydro Dragon, would a dragon out of water suit you better?
Thank you for your suggestion. I will consider using the more accurate term in private occasions. Please allow me to rephrase. Has a dragon out of water?
Ugh. That sounds kind of weird. Let's stick with the previous version instead.
Follow the wind.
The weather's amazing today.
Kiara.
Huh? Monsieur Neuvillette! And you are? Oh! A traveler and Paimon! Aww, she's adorable! Hey there, it's nice to meet you! Thanks for the compliment. Is there anything I can do for you?
I heard from Sidine that you received a threatening letter.
A threatening letter? Oh, right! I remember now. The letter fell through the crack in my door as I was heading out this morning. It said something about catching me, so I thought someone wanted to play hide and seek. But Sidine told me it was a threatening letter, and that I could be in danger. But that's not gonna happen with everyone looking after me, right?
Have you run into any suspicious-looking people recently?
Suspicious-looking people? What counts as... Ah! Did you think of... Nope. I don't know.
Do you still have the letter with you? I want you to show me...
Oh! Let's see. Found it!
Now then. Get lost. If you don't leave the Maréchaussée Phantom, I will come and catch you in person. A simple threat. Neither the handwriting nor the content itself reveals anything. We can't rule out that possibility. Since you can't think of anyone suspicious, I will be heading back to the Kiara, you should come with us. It's safe.
Sure! Wait, no. I still have a case to work on.
But you are being watched right now.
And that's where we come in to help. We'll stay with Kiara and make sure with us around anyone scheming. Thank you, Traveler. Big Sis Paimon.
your big sis Paimon is super strong.
All right. Let us go our separate ways for now. Please take care of Kiara.
We'll take her to a lost place right away. So, Kiara, how old are you?
Let me think. 1, 2, 10? I can't remember. But I remember coming to the Court of Fontaine with Carol and Neuvillette. That must have been a long time ago.
Carol? Didn't Neuvillette mention her just now? That was more than 400 years ago. Why would Paimon be a big sister to you?
My memory isn't that good. But Carol told me I could address others based on how I feel about them. Paimon feels a lot more grown up than me, so you're a big sis.
Huh. Paimon sees. Hey, Traveler, did you hear that? Strange.
Olaf!
Kiara, you're here. Huh? Wait, aren't these two...
Oh, they're the Traveler.
I thought so. What brings you here? All right, guess I should...
May I begin inspecting the store as planned?
Of course.
No hazards detected. You've cleared the inspection.
That was quick.
Well, I took a look around the shop. Neuvillette says that us Melazines have special eyes that can see things people can't. Things like bloodstains. No matter how hard you try to clean them up, we Melazines can see their residual stains for some time.
All right. Now that you're done, hear me out. I'm planning to release an outfit for children next month.
Of course!
Please wait a moment while I take your measurements. The sample should be...
Seems like they get along with... Huh? What are you looking at? Is there really someone watching us?
Shh! Strange. Why isn't he back here?
Gotcha! Charlotte, what did... Oh, wait, don't tell Paimon you're the one who sent Kiara that threat...
Threat letter? What threat? This is starting to feel like an interrogation. Okay, I'll be straight with you. I don't know the slightest thing about that threat letter you...
You want to interview him?
That's right. I'm not the only one, you know. But it's not an easy task to accomplish. The Palais Mermonia rarely accepts appointment requests from us, and we never have the... So imagine how surprised I was seeing him out on the streets today. It seemed like you were investigating something too. Of course, I'll make sure to turn in my manuscript to him for review. I have my principles, and I'd never publish an article without the consent of all parties involved.
Yeah, we're doing a secret investigation that can't be made...
I see. Well, if you say so, I guess I'll put... In exchange, could you tell me what the...
All right, then.
What? Someone's targeting a cute little Melazine. Shh, not so... It just so happens that I did an interview with Kiara. Last month, in fact. It was well received by our readers, so I was planning to continue the series. And now someone's coming after. I'll ask my colleagues about it. Who knows? We might find something. And don't worry, I know what I'm doing. This secret's safe with me. But I gotta warn you, even if I keep my lips sealed, others will know eventually.
Why?
People care a great deal about Monsieur Neuvillette's each and every move. Some may have already realized that something was up. Besides, the case involves Melazine. Anyway, I'll get going now.
Well, that was a nice chat.
What do you think? The design looks pretty...
I think it's great!
Huh.
Clorinde! What are you doing here? It seems that you just
As I passed by the Palais Mermonia, I heard that Neuvillette was investigating a case. Technically speaking, he and I are under an employer-employee relationship. It didn't feel right to have my employer personally take on such trivial cases. I happened to have some time at the moment, and came to take a look. I sometimes have my clothes custom-made at this
Neverlet, sure.
Leave this to me. You should go.
Okay then, we'll leave Kiara in your hands. Come on, let's go.
Oh, you're back. Is everything all right?
We ran into Cloran. She offered to help us
That is good to hear. I trust her ability.
We thought so too.
I've been looking over the case records, specifically inspection reports submitted by Kiara and major cases I've judged over the past decade. I've come up with two plans. On one hand, I could start with Kiara and track down the group behind all this step by. On the other, I could also analyze the conflicting interests of these major cases and confirm my suspicion.
They both sound like pretty solid plans.
Don't worry. I'm a fast reader when it comes to official documents.
We'll help you read through them.
Thank you. I will continue looking through. Have you made any progress?
We skimmed through some of them, but there's so many documents lying around.
I would love to answer that question, but the truth is if memory serves me right, there should be at least 100,000 cases.
Whoa.
That might be how it seems from another's perspective, but trials and official duties, there are many documents here.
You read.
All right. Let us take a break then.
Even though resting is a part of the silence is making Paimon feel.
Please pardon my lack of consideration. People rarely come to the Palais Mammonia for... Would you like to have some drinks, perhaps?
Ooh, drinks! Thank you! Paimon wonders what Novelet likes to drink. He seems like the type of person who'd own an entire winery. You know, like Diluc. What's inside these glasses? It looks just like water.
An astute observation. It is indeed water.
So it's just plain old water?
What did you think it was?
Since you're the Chief Justice and all, Paimon...
This water is indeed very special. It would not be an overstatement to call it sophisticated. I believe you've already tried Fonta. In fact, there are many other drink factories in Fontaine. Said water is sourced from all across Tivat, including Mondstadt's. Here is one of their latest products. Water from Sumeru's Apam Woods. If I were to comment on their mouthfeel... the water waters of Cider Lake warm the... Distinct differences exist between the waters of each area. You will...
Really? Let Paimon try!
What do you think?
Nope. Paimon couldn't taste any different.
How regrettable. It seems like you still have a long way to go in refining...
Hey, this doesn't have to do with refining our taste. Paimon's pretty sure most... Oh, could it be because you're the we are allowed to bring that up, right? Oh, Paimon's been wanting to ask this for ages. If you're the Hydro... Sorry. Paimon was just...
There's nothing to hide. I accepted this position because I wanted to seek out answers to questions that have perplexed me.
Questions?
Many, in fact. But the one question that puzzles me the most concerns my own existence. In essence, I neither know why I was born in this form, nor do I understand where my long life should take me. I lost many memories from the moment I... Perhaps the elemental dragons of other nations may have some form of an answer. However, they are scattered...
True. Some of them have very... unique personalities.
I have been holding on to these unanswered questions for... But there is one thing I've discovered along the way. My emotions easily resonate with those of others. Even I don't have the slightest idea what they mean. My guess would be that there are at least some similarities between humans and myself.
Have you made any progress then?
Perhaps, but I find such progress difficult to describe. As an outsider, chances to engage... That's why I'm quite thankful for this chat. Such opportunities are rare.
Are we gonna continue reading these documents?
I wasn't able to find any leads even after browsing through most of the documents. But while we were on the
Water? Do you mean...
That's right. The Fountain of Lucine is where all of Fontaine's waters converge. If there really were an organization attempting to use Melusines against me, they should also hold an intense resentment. Perhaps we'll be able to find some new leads by sensing the hydro element within the fountain.
Huh. Why didn't...
Perhaps we should go. There shouldn't be too many people near the Fountain of Lucine during the evening.
Snappity snap, printy printy. Whoa! Hey, you!
Huh? Does she... Guess we better get you... But if this is for anything besides your own personal use, then we're legally allowed to charge you.
Absolutely! It's just an honor to be able to photograph the ace adventurer
Sure. Hold up, how much did you say again? 1.5 million? Did Paimon hear that right? That's a lot of more for just one photograph. Maybe a little too much.
You guys are overreacting. This measly 1.5 mil is just the... If you're interested in working with me as a photographer, you could potentially be taking home anywhere up to 9 figures. Snap some...
9 figures? That's... wait. Yeah, this all... What kind of racket are you running here? You plan...
Con innocent people. But you got it back to front. My goal here...
Whoa, that...
Well, it all has to do with an important... Common sense says that if Gardamex want to fight crime, the first
first thing they need to do is identify who's a criminal and who isn't. But what happens when a Gardamek mistakes an honest citizen for a criminal? Or sees someone think of the poor fisherman whose fishing rod gets mistaken for a spear. Or the—
Okay, fair enough.
Great. Okay, so let's say—
That's cheap. A Gardamek's not gonna—
Bingo! Gardameks are incapable of It is actually fairly low. But here's a quote from a completely blind to the would-be Bulber Beast.
Wait, so this actually happened? Okay, that's pretty gutsy, but also kinda horrible.
Exactly! And I, Lapine Paul, currently, I'm in the process of any clockwork mecha, and, if all goes to plan, the Palais Mermaid.
Paimon's getting deja vu, and the reason you want to work with us is because we can go out into the wild.
Wow! Right again! What do you say? Crucially, with—
Forget tomorrow. We can't stand by and do nothing.
Great! And just— okay, take this. It's an image I've already looked— let's get this show on the—
A blade is like a... A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Stabilize!
Into the wind! Whirling snow!
I probably shouldn't disturb them.
Looks like we got lucky today. There's hardly anyone around.
What should we do next? Oh, Traveler, can you still hear the voices from the fountain?
Perhaps leave the investigation to me. I need you to take a few steps back and keep a safe distance.
A safe distance? Nicolette, what exactly are you... Oh, it's glowing! Thank you for bringing us here, Monsieur Neuvillette. The Cour de Fontaine is truly incredible. There's so many things I've never seen or heard before.
I understand your excitement, but although I have responded to your wishes, it was not without personal interest.
I know. Not only can I repay you for your kindness,
But a meaningful life.
it's definitely the safest to just stay in the village. In truth, I've never really understood the for almost 20 years. We've stayed in our village without finding any...
I understand your confusion. I too came here for an answer to...
Really? The truth is, many people threw rocks at us today and told us to go back to our village. It hurt a lot when they hit me in the head. And I tried...
Logically speaking, both time and effort are essential when different species attempt to peacefully coexist. It will be different identities and ways of thinking all contribute to strength. There aren't many suggestions I can share, because just like you, I haven't fully integrated into this society.
Oh, I'm confident that we'll find...
I believe in you, but you shouldn't lose sight of the difficulties ahead. If you run into any trouble, I suggest that you inform Vautrin, the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
Huh? Is he the person I met in the Palais Marmonia earlier?
Yes? Do you have it?
That stone-faced human. He didn't even bother to look at me.
He is an earnest man. There will be plenty of opportunities to work together in the future, so please
anything.
Thanks, but no need.
Oh. Hello, I'm Carol, a Melazine. Is there anything you need help with?
Get away from here! I'm calling the guard.
Please, calm down.
Hard to say.
Yeah, we should probably stay away from these monsters. Haven't you realized? Strange incident.
Why should we trust this species from who knows where anyway? I can't believe Nervilet allowed them into the court of Fontaine just like that.
Exactly. That so-called Chief Justice even granted them official positions. Not only that, but they're now responsible for investigating cases.
Go away!
I'm not leaving. I won't let we join the Mari Shosei Phantom and solved lots and lots of cases. We've never done anything wrong.
Solving cases? With Nervilet in cahoots with you? You could have fabricated it all, and no one would know. So tell me, how can you guarantee that you Melazines aren't involved in anything that occurred recently?
Didn't I tell you before? Don't go advertising if you're not a good talker.
Vautrin?
Aside from spreading unjustified rumors, if you continue insulting members of the Mare Shosei Phantom, the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol has every right to subject you to interrogation. There have indeed been an increase in cases recently, perhaps due to the shifting currents of conspiracy, and I understand your concern. However, there's been no evidence pointing towards Melazines being involved.
Even the captain of the security patrol is on their side. Nervilet's newly reformed police force is already corrupt to the core.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
You heard that?
Yeah, I don't understand. Why won't...
There have been rumors saying that you were born from calamity, and that you inherently bring danger to those around you. There are countless negative rumors about you floating around in Fontaine. It's near impossible for you to become a part of this society. Best if you give up before it's too late.
Monsieur Nervilet said that we needed to put both time and effort in. I don't know how long it'll take, but I can at least try making my best effort. I still want to try a little harder. Thank you for bailing me out earlier. Okay, I won't be taking any more of your time. I painted a lot of flyers last night, so I have to stay and hand them out to everyone.
Give them to me.
You're not gonna take them away?
We'll hand them out together. The faster we get this done, the sooner we can head back.
Monsieur Nervilet, what's...
Medals of Peace, awarded to you and Vautrin. Thank you for your continued dedication in the past 5 years. You've taken one small step forward in helping Melazines gain the trust of humans.
I think I'll pass.
Hey, don't say that. We wouldn't have made it this far without you. It won't be long before Melazines begin living peacefully with the humans. Just the thought of it makes me happy.
Don't keep your hopes up. We've barely scratched the surface. There's still a long way to go before that dream of yours comes true.
You blockhead! Don't ruin the mood!
Vautrin brings up a good point. The trust humans have placed in you is still very fragile. Any small incident could undermine the hard work you've put in. Please be on your guard for the next few...
Yes, sir.
Okay, got...
Medal of Peace? Peace isn't going to give us back what's rightfully ours.
Are you sure we should do this? We're no match for Nervilet, even with all our powers combined. What if...
Nah, not gonna happen. As long as he remains in his position, there's no chance he'd take us out personally. There are rules even he must comply with in the political sphere, unless he wants to become an enemy of Fontaine. So quit worrying and just go ahead with it. I've already planned out the murder. Once we lay the blame on the Melazines as the person who brought them to the court of Fontaine, Nervilette will be left with no excuse.
I guess you're right. Ugh. If he just left things the way they were, it never would have come to this. But he's forced our hand. Time to teach him a lesson.
Turn the murderer in!
Melazines can't be trusted! That goes for Nervilette, too!
Peaceful coexistence? What a joke. Get out of the court of Fontaine and don't ever come back!
The results of the investigation are in, Captain.
Go on.
There is no direct evidence, but reasonable inference indicates that the ones controlling the situation are supporters of the... They tricked Miss Carroll into going to the crime scene and pressed charges against her. After that, they incited panic among the people in order to make Monsieur Nervilette confess to his mistakes and yield up. The guards were stopped by the enraged mob and couldn't intervene in time. Miss Carroll chose to sacrifice herself to pacify the situation.
And she called me a blockhead. A little investigation would have cleared things up. Why didn't she wait until we'd established the truth? She didn't have to prove her innocence like that.
The situation had rapidly escalated to a physical altercation between infuriated citizens and the guards. Miss Carroll might have thought there was no better plan.
That is indeed something she'd do.
Captain Vautrin, should I present these results to Monsieur Nervilette right away?
There's no need. Notify the guards to restrict public access to all information.
Restrict access to... Wait, are you planning to...
There's something I've never told Carol. I had a little sister named Ilaria who passed away when I was very young. She's just like Carol in every possible way. Innocent, kind, always believing the best of people. People like her are the most vulnerable to deception and betrayal. From the moment I met Carol, I knew that she'd be easily manipulated by others. I kept a cold demeanor and tried lecturing her into giving up.
Looks like she was unfazed by that.
Yes. In fact, some of her spirit must have rubbed off on me instead. Because I too began working towards that pie-in-the-sky dream of hers. I should have known. Those cowards don't have the guts to confront Nervilette. They even avoided causing trouble for me. They were after Carol all along. Can you understand how I feel? Right now, there's only one thought on my mind. Only through bloodshed can their debt be repaid.
I understand, but I'm certain Monsieur Nervilette wouldn't accept that as a solution.
That's exactly why we need to keep this a secret. Give me the list of suspects. What happens after this has nothing to do with any of you. I will take responsibility for everything.
Did you know? They're hearing a major case today, and the criminal is Captain Vautrin of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. Apparently, he resorted to personal measures to seek revenge for Carol, and settled the score with the group that framed his friend.
I'm thinking... we should try our best to bail him out when the trial commences.
Bail him out?
Shh, keep it down! Haven't you realized? Both Vautrin and Carol are Nervilette's most trusted subordinates. After everything that happened to Carol, Nervilette's guaranteed to do everything he can to keep Vautrin. Besides, now that the old regime has been uprooted, Nervilette's status is secure as can be. As long as we redirect public opinion, Nervilette will be able to give Vautrin...
Vautrin sought vengeance for his friend for a valid cause. This represents the justice he... Please, think about it. If the same thing had... Yeah, that's right!
This whole thing started because of those despicable cowards who levied false accusations against Carol. How could Vautrin be declared guilty for seeking revenge?
Monsieur Neuvillette.
Mr. Vautrin is innocent! He's innocent!
Order! I acknowledge your arguments. Vautrin, I understand your decision. Which is why personal justice does not equate to justice as defined by the law. To execute your plan for revenge, you abused your authority and conducted in... Therefore, you will be declared guilty.
What?
That can't be! Monsieur Nervilette, please give this...
Vautrin, my friend, is there anything else you want to say?
Neuvillette, what have I done to deserve this? I've closely followed every one of your orders. Can't you see? Everyone in this room believes that I'm innocent. Why can't you just let me off? Is this what justice means to you? Answer me, Neuvillette!
Order. Since there have been no further objections, the Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vautrin. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, Mr. Vautrin will be declared guilty.
Goodbye, Monsieur.
This all happened because of Carol's naive ideas.
How can different species peacefully coexist anyway?
Hey, stop spacing out! What's wrong? Are you not feeling well?
Apologies, it seems like my memories got the better of me. I tried my best to suppress the power of Hydro within myself, but it seems like it still caused the emotions within the Fountain of Lucine to boil over. Due to my negligence, the overflow of emotions and memories must have affected you as well.
Wow, the Hydro Dragon is more powerful than Paimon thought. Anyways, the last time we came here, the Traveler only heard voices.
It is as you said. This might be because I am different. It is not only the fountain. I can sense emotions from all waters in Fontaine.
That sounds...
But I rarely ever do anything like this. Emote which ones? It's fine. I prefer not to speak of those memories. It was a coincidence, but perhaps it is a good thing that you saw everything in that form. You should now understand why I believe there to be a conspiracy behind all this. These two...
Paimon, still leave Paimon out of the conversation.
Then let us get back to the point. While I was investigating the fountain, I did not sense too much hatred towards me with it. I don't know what caused this to happen, but it seems like there won't be a shortcut. However, I did find some resentment directed towards Kiara.
Oh! Didn't we read about that in...
You've read about it? In that case, the resentment should have come from that in...
Huh? What are you doing here? I was just about to look for you at the Palais
Navia! Nice to see you!
I've heard some things, but I'm not Rumors are abroad that someone's scheming against Melusines, and that you're investigating. So I told the Spina di Rosula to keep an eye out for leads. We've had unfamiliar faces showing themselves at the...
Thank you. Where did you hear about all...
The Chief Justice out on investigation, accompanied by the Traveler from afar. No matter how you talked to Kiara, but didn't ask her to keep things secret. People curious to know asked around.
So that's what Charlotte meant.
Indeed. I did not expect that this could be kept hidden for too long.
You know, it could be because... Anyway, any progress...
The suspects who threatened Kiara might have to do with a certain smuggling case. Turn to the Palais Marmonia to revisit some details.
All right, then I'll round up the Spina di Rosula and follow up on their Wait for my word. Ta-ta!
Nevertheless,
I have already considered that possibility, and I do not think that there will be any. As a matter of fact, once the word gets out, what is more important is how the case is perceived by the public. 400 years ago, they chose to side with the old regime and direct their resentment towards the Mel. I hope the same won't happen again.
strange. What are these people doing out on the streets so late? Did something happen? Let's take a look around.
Have you heard? Someone's plotting against a Melazine. This is 100% the truth. Even the Chief Justice is investigating in person.
What? That's it! Who's been threatening Melazines? Show yourself!
Our enemies are lurking in the shadows and won't easily reveal themselves. But no amount of hiding will keep us from finding them.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. The guards have already begun to think about how much we owe them. Now that they're in danger...
Everyone, please stay alert to your surroundings from now on. If you...
It feels like you've been following me this whole time. Did something happen?
We were informed that. Nope. We just finished our shifts and happened to be strolling.
Have you had dinner yet? Why don't we check out the new items at the dessert shop together?
This isn't a good time to be out. Come on. Don't act... All right.
You shouldn't ever skip meals. Especially if you have another shift.
I heard even Nervilette's keeping an eye on the situation. This is the perfect chance to get promoted. We gotta make sure we give it all we've got.
Seriously? Were you planning to shirk your duties if Nervilette wasn't involved?
Relax, I was just playing. We've worked together for years now. If something happened to them, I'd be haunted by regret for the rest of...
That's more like it. We should stand guard until the crim...
Come and fight me instead, you...
Have you heard? Even the Special Patrol came to help.
Shh! Look! Is it that Nervilette?
Looks like there's nothing to worry about.
This is truly wonderful.
So...
No, I should stay where I am. My appearance could give rise to unnecessary... Let us stick to our plan and return to the Palais Marmonia. The smuggling case was solved by the joint forces of the guards and the Moorish. The list of involved suspects should be...
What does it say?
The principal offenders Domenico, Inica, Yuna and others have been caught. They have those with close connections or mutual interests with the offenders, but who did. Among them, surveillance of Essan has ceased on account of his good behavior. All.
So many names.
Yes, there is something suspicious about Essan. It seems like he's closely related to the core members of the smuggling case.
Monsieur Neverlet, someone claiming to be from the Spina Durasula just... He said, and I quote, Huh?
How did Navia find them so quick?
I too am perplexed. The cafe isn't...
Yeah.
Hey, Navia, we're here!
Whoa. Check it out. These are the people who have had recent dealings at the Marechaussee Phantom. They're usually hidden in the...
Invite them over.
Exactly. Now, I heard there's great coffee here, and so...
Yeah, it's our pleasure to be guests of the Spina di Rosso.
I've won...
But... Oh, well.
Yes, that's...
You're Essan?
Yes.
Did you write that threatening letter?
I did, but I was just...
Orders from whom?
Domenico. He was my boss. I couldn't
Domenico. Where is he now?
The fortress of...
Well, I'm afraid even the Spina would have trouble looking at... Looks like you'll have to make the trip yourselves.
You've done more than enough. I'm extremely grateful for your help.
Leave the formalities for later. If he really is the one setting up the conspiracy, it'd be best if he's exposed as soon as possible.
All right, then. Let's head to the fortress, right?
There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Welcome to the Fortress of Meripede, dear esteemed guests.
We're back! Oh, and a greeting from none other than the...
This isn't anything new. I figured you had important matters to discuss when the two... Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantry. I do remember a thing or two about Domenico. He once
Who does this guy think he is?
He once attempted to, I said. Meaning that it was to be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator. The fact that the three of you bothered to...
He's got the same concerns we do.
I'm concerned about this incident because something similar has occurred in the past.
That's an easy one.
Oh, did I hear someone say Melazine? What happened? Sijuin! Yeah, and we're investigating... Really?
There's no need to worry. Clara...
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still...
Head nurse. Do you...
Writhes late...
Okay, I get it.
Think of it as more of a humble request. I'm here on my own accord. Thanks for the trouble.
Whoa! If Paimon were the Duke, Paimon would take...
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But enough jokes. I'll look... Make yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times.
Please come with me to the infirmary. And watch your step. There's some pretty dark areas, so make sure you...
Did Neuvillette just walk by?
Now that I think about it, I can leave this place soon. Huh?
Please rest here for... Oh, and would any... Paimon's not... Thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated. I'll bring you some tea.
Typical Sijui. Concerned about everyone's health as always. Why aren't you two saying anything?
You noticed them too. The badges they...
Familiar? But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
That's not a bad idea. I will...
Anything you need? Oh, this? Are you...
What's that?
We have a very long history. We have never had many members throughout our history. Helping each other is our purpose. At the same...
Sounds like a pretty neat...
All we want, but people won't give us a hard time.
Interested in joining the... If you'd like to learn more... A slogan may appear. This book is...
You two look kind... It's the symbol of the mutual aid. From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those medals. The first president of our network was an amazing person. Powerful as he was, he never used to... All of us have a lot of...
We should have gathered enough information. Let's head back and talk to Neuvillette.
Did you manage to get...
The people who wore the badges, according to them, the badge's design was inspired by the Medal of...
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded to Carol, and Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire. The only one that remained should belong to Vautrin.
Oh, so the network was... Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence in his...
All right.
Allow me to introduce this... Fine. Why don't you explain everything to us?
Neuvillette? What do you want?
Calm down. Was it your idea to send... Hassan has already confessed.
That idiot!
Let me ask this another way. Who is pulling your...
What? You're not trying to frame me for something I haven't done.
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. The Chief Justice of Fontaine has been personally investigating your case. I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede has something to do with this as well.
I admit I acted on impulse.
I can do that.
You see, we're all...
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering. After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Marechaussee Phantom. They accused me of smoke, but I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right?
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melazines?
My initial target was Nervilette. Everyone in the forces of Meripede was declared guilty. But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto I recall that Kiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection. So I asked one of the more approachable guards, but the letter was in fact addressed to Essa. I requested that he write a threat letter to Kiara and force her to resign from the
Am I to assume that the claims you've made are your own thoughts?
No.
Is it true that all members involved...
Yes.
Sijuin, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him. So, Monsieur Neuvillette, you were concerned that there might be a shadowy fact.
Yes. I experienced a similar incident in the past.
And how long ago?
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking. Time can change a lot of things.
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melazines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society. But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melazines, people wouldn't just sit back and do nothing.
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up—
Monsieur Neuvillette, the Melazines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. When people refused to place their trust in Melazines, it was because they were still on the fence about you, their unfamiliar chief. For almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with impartiality. People no longer have any reservations about you, and even consider you a symbol of the law. Right now, your every decision will impact all of Fontaine. In other words, you've gradually transformed.
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join forces with Domenico.
I am undeserving of such high compliments. It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. It is unnecessary to hold me in such high regard. The complexity of human emotion...
There's no need to be so modest. You're no longer that outsider you were before. Even if you wish to investigate something on your own.
I must say that you've made a fair point. Thank you for clearing my doubts.
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? Why not stay for a cup of tea?
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this place works while some are here to redeem themselves, the less time I spend here, the better. My presence could very well result in an...
In that case, I'll have to insist.
Please.
The first is about the guard who helped out...
I know of what... The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Memoria's staff. However, as I mentioned earlier, I visited...
Well, that makes things a lot easier. Hey now, don't let your... Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with others. However, down here, such thoughts will put... I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precaution.
I see no issues.
Great! That's one thing out of the way.
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now I've...
Yep.
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the fortress of Meripede. They were not great. I've looked into their founder, Vautrin, who once stood trial and was, according to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined throughout his imprisonment. In other words, how he presented himself in prison was very different from...
What? During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated.
Perhaps he had been putting on
an act?
Neuvillette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Vautrin must have known that the chief... Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it... And to those who had been sitting on the fence, Vautrin... That's all from me.
I don't have anything to say. Well then, let us...
Please, take care.
That trial is something I rarely bring up in conversation, but... I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin. The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
But Risley said he never resented you, right? Isn't that a good thing?
I believe I now understand what he wanted to tell me. I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it? Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things. I would like to hear your thoughts, too. What do you think of me?
Paimon
agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials makes an impact on... Hey!
What I really think is, every trial you've ever judged has left its impression on you. And that's what makes you who you are today.
That is indeed a reasonable assumption. As I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself. But I trust your judgment. Since some time ago, I have begun to notice the changes that have occurred upon my person. These changes were not due to any specific... I will try to contemplate this further. Thank you.
Oh. Huh? It's raining! Oh no! Paimon forgot to bring an umbrella! Come on, let's hurry before it rains harder!
It's raining again? I've had enough of this weather.
There go my travel plans.
Did you read the news this morning? Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
When is this rain going to stop?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Meripede. It's a good place for me.
He owes me so many answers.
Nervillette? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, when you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past.
Good morning, Monsieur Neuvillette! The rainy season's almost over! The skies are supposed to clear in a few days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
Is the matter resolved?
Yep, we found the person who sent that threatening letter. Risley said he...
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sorry for drag...
There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved of our...
by the way...
At the Palais Mermonia, more than 50 people offered to protect her. Some even hit. I was worried that the excess of protection would make her feel uneasy. So...
Well, now it looks like to celebrate this joyous occasion.
That's not how you say...
I will... Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks. Come up with questions during the intervening days, and I will answer them.
Yes!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must head back. I hope it will assuage... Kiara? It's quite all right. I'm here to tell...
Monsieur Neuf, and thank you too, Traveler and Big Sis Paimon.
Do you
Thank
remember
Monsieur.
Domenico?
Let me think. By the way, I saw Carol in my dreams just now. In my dream, she looked really happy. She held my hand and said, Kiara, our dreams have finally come true. I can't remember what our dreams were anymore. And
I can sense your joy.
Monsieur... Oh, I almost forgot. I promised to model for...
Of course.
See you next time, Monsieur.
See you next time.
So okay guys, kita live sampai setakat ini saja. Semoga kita bertemu di hari yang lain ya. Terima kasih semua yang sudah tengok dan like ya. Terima kasih semua. Semoga jumpa lagi. Bye bye.